Let's start with using our first hook, that is useSelector hook. From here, I am going to close all the files, Control B, and inside this components folder, I am going to create one file. Here I will write hooks container.js, and from here, from pizzabox.js, I will copy entire thing, and inside this I will be pasting. Here I will not be using this connect function. I am going to remove, and simply I'm just going to export this hooks container. Copy, just do the necessary changes. Copy this, and here inside this I will be pasting. Remove this props, and I will remove this entire thing, and also I'm just going to remove map state to props and map dispatch to props. From here I will remove this, and also from here I'm just going to remove this on click, and here I will display 100. So simply I have just done necessary changes. I have changed the function name, and while exporting I have passed the function name, and from this button I have removed on click event handler. Once entire changes are done, open app.js, and inside this I will remove this pizza box. Let me comment below this. I'm just going to render this hook container, and this hook container is already imported, and I will be commenting this pizza box. If I come here again, I will be having the same result, and by default 100 is displayed. And coming back to hooks, hooks will be providing extra feature to React. So now I'm just going to access useSelector hook from React Redux library. So here I will write import, and inside this I am going to write useSelector, which we got from React Redux library. And inside this function component at top level, I will be calling this useSelector. And this useSelector will be taking function as its parameter. And this function is called as selector function. Okay, inside this we are going to pass function as its parameter, and that function name is called as selector function, and that function is going to receive Redux state as its argument. And this useSelector hook is very similar to map state to props. If you are using this hook, you don't have to use map state to props function. So this useSelector hook will be accepting function as its parameter. That function name is called as selector function, and inside that function we are going to pass Redux state as its argument, and in return this function will be getting access to state, and from that Redux state I am just going to access my pizza base. Okay, using this I will be having access to my entire state, and inside that state I am having pizza base. So that is the reason I am accessing state.pizza base, which will access my pizza base available in my Redux state. And whatever value we get from this useSelector, that value we are going to store inside one variable. So here I will write const, and then I'm going to write pizza base. Similarly, whatever we did in map state prop function, same thing we are doing here, but instead of returning object inside useSelector, we are going to get access to a Redux state, and from that we are accessing pizza base property. And whatever value we get from this useSelector, that value we are storing inside pizza base. Now below this I will write log, then I'm just going to write pizza base, save it, come to application, open console. Now you can see I am able to access 1000. Why? Because in my state my pizza base value is 1000. Let me show you. I will come inside this pizza reducer. Initially my pizza base is 1000. Using this state I got access to my entire state, and from that state I am accessing pizza base. So that is the reason my state is object, and from that object I am accessing pizza base. Now instead of this, let me remove. I will write here log console.log, and inside this I will be passing state. Comment, save it, come here, refresh once. Now you can see here successfully I am able to access this state, and from this state I only want pizza base. So that is the reason we had written state.pizza base. I will remove this log. Now I am having access to this value directly. Now I do not have to pass any prop. Directly I will enter into JavaScript mode, and here I will write pizza base. Save it, come here. I will just refresh my application. Now you can see I am having 1000. Why? Because initial value of pizza base is 1000. So 1000 is displayed. Using this use selector, we have applied the same concept what we have seen in map state to prop. But inside map state to prop, the properties will be passed as a prop to the component. But here, directly using use selector, we get access to our Redux state, and from that we are getting access to properties, and that final value we will be storing inside one variable, and after that variable we are going to display in a component. So here we have accessed number of pizza base available inside Redux state and stored inside this pizza base variable, which belongs to this React component. After that we have included in JSX and we got the result.